this hour on VTV News. Party chief pays tribute to President Ho Chi Minh. And Vietnam unveils master plan for sustainable coastal resource management.
Broadcasting from Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, VTV News starts right now.
Good morning. It's now 8 a.m. local time in Hanoi, and you're watching VTV News. I'm Phie with the latest updates. Now, to commemorate the 70th anniversary of President Ho Chi Minh's return to live and work at the Presidential Palace, on Sunday morning, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm offered incense at the Ho Chi Minh Presidential Palace relic site.
On December 19, 1954, following the victory of the resistance war against the French, President Ho Chi Minh returned to Hanoi from the Việt Bắc resistance base and began working at the Presidential Palace, a place where he lived and worked during the last 15 years of his life, from 1954 to 1969. At house number 67, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm paid solemn tribute to President Ho Chi Minh. The site embodies the nation's essence and stands as a testament to a revolutionary leader who devoted his entire life to securing the people's independence, freedom, and happiness.
This site, which has witnessed many significant historical events, commemorates 70 years since President Ho Chi Minh returned to the capital to lead the nation. As we mark 55 years since implementing his will, our preservation efforts continue, allowing visitors to experience the site's warmth, intimacy, simplicity, and grandeur. Preservation has been so meticulously carried out that it feels as though President Ho Chi Minh is always near us. We take pride in telling him that current generations continue to fulfill his final wishes.
At the Stills House, the party chief observed how every corner reflected the legacies of a leader, both simple and extraordinary. During his 15 years at the Presidential Palace, President Ho Chi Minh worked with the party's Central Committee to chart Vietnam's revolutionary path, simultaneously pursuing two strategic missions of advancing socialism in the North and fighting for national reunification. The party chair noted that all artifacts and stories from President Ho Chi Minh's time here carry the message to future generations that we must live and contribute in ways that honor his precious legacy.
Now, on Sunday, Prime Minister Phie and the National Assembly delegation of Cần Thơ City met with voters in Cơ Đỏ District after the National Assembly's 8th session.
Voters in Cần Thơ expressed strong appreciation for the country's significant socio-economic achievements in 2024, crediting both the party's leadership and the government and the Prime Minister's effective governance. During the meeting, Prime Minister Phie reported that the National Assembly's 8th session had accomplished its largest workload since the term began, passing 18 laws and resolving numerous challenges.
At the opening session, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm delivered a key speech outlining fundamental directions for the National Assembly activities, emphasizing the need for innovation. This includes improving the legal system by aligning it with party policies and translating them into practical measures for the country.
Regarding the review of Resolution 18, the Prime Minister emphasized the Central Committees, Party General Secretaries, and the government's directive to streamline, strengthen, and enhance the efficiency of administrative apparatus. The Prime Minister also shared key socio-economic achievements in 2024 and outlined the government's priorities.
I propose that the Prime Minister continue to prioritize and urgently direct the construction and completion of infrastructure for expressways in the Mekong Delta region,
The Mekong Delta Development Plan aims for 1,200 kilometers of expressway by 2030, with 400 to 500 kilometers to be completed this term. Plans include expanding Cần Thơ, Phú Quốc, and Cà Mau airports, improving waterways, and extending the north-south high-speed railway to Cần Thơ and Cà Mau. Further studies are underway for subsequent phases.
During the visit, the Prime Minister presented gifts to families of war invalids and martyrs, as well as exemplary Catholic families, while providing 20 solidarity houses to disadvantaged households. He also offered incense at the site of the establishment of the An Nam Communist Party cell in Cờ Đỏ, the first party cell in Cần Thơ.
Also on the same day, Prime Minister Phie conducted site inspections and led working sessions with ministries, sectors, and local authorities regarding the implementation of expressway projects in the Mekong Delta region.
During his visit to inspect the Cần Thơ, Cà Mau, and Châu Đốc Cần Thơ Sóc Trăng expressway projects in Hậu Giang province, Prime Minister Phie commended the progress while urging renewed determination to overcome challenges and accelerate construction. He emphasized the importance of teamwork, efficient coordination, and prioritizing national interests, calling for round-the-clock construction even during holidays. While progress has improved since the Prime Minister's inspection 2 months ago, material supply issues persist. The Prime Minister directed provinces to address licensing, pricing, and supply challenges, and to strictly enforce regulations against violations.
The first principle is to move forward, not backward. The second is that the entire political system must be involved. The third principle is that there will be no changes to the timeline. By December 31st, 2025, the entire expressway from Cao Bằng to Lạng Sơn, Hanoi, the central region, Cần Thơ to Cà Mau, must be operational. This goal is both a mandate of responsibility and an expectation of the people, despite the significant challenges.
The Prime Minister directed all parties to resolve obstacles within their authority and escalate any unresolved issues to higher levels, ensuring no corruption or misconduct occurs. For the Cần Thơ Cà Mau Expressway, the Prime Minister proposed extending the route from Cà Mau to Đất Mũi, assigning Cà Mau province to handle land clearance and project management with central funding support and the goal of starting construction by 2026.
Welcome back to VTV News. On Sunday in Nha Trang City, Khánh Hòa Province, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Environment introduced the Master Plan for Sustainable Exploitation and Use of Coastal Resources for 2021 to 2030 with a vision to 2050. This comprehensive multi-sectoral plan aims to optimize space allocations across industries while resolving conflicts in coastal resource usage. The plan prioritizes environmental protection, ecosystem restoration, and sustainable development to ensure the long-term health of coastal ecosystem. Through this initiative, Vietnam's coastal regions are set to become vibrant economic and cultural hubs that serves as vital gateways between land and sea, fostering holistic and sustainable growth. Efforts to address the landslides on Khánh Lê Pass and National Highway 27C in Khánh Hòa Province continue to be hampered by prolonged heavy rains and the massive volume of displaced soil and rocks. This key route connecting Nha Trang to Đà Lạt remains completely blocked. 4 major landslides have deposited thousands of cubic meters of debris across the road. As of Sunday afternoon, the landslides at kilometer 42 has been mostly cleared, but the timeline for reopening the remaining sections is still uncertain. Authorities in Khánh Vĩnh district arrived at the scene to assist 30 vehicles and 40 people stranded on the pass. Essential supplies were delivered and residents were guided to safer areas. Vietnam is home to more than 40,000 historical, cultural, and scenic sites. However, many of these sites are degrading rapidly, with numerous intangible cultural heritage at risk of disappearing. This situation highlights the urgent need to mobilize resources beyond the state budget for heritage preservation and promotion. A promising step forward has emerged with the establishment of the Heritage Conservation Fund, a provision included in the amended Cultural Heritage Law passed by the National Assembly's 8th session.
Exactly 11 years ago, the Vietnam Heritage Conservation Support Fund was established to support heritage conservation activities. However, due to the lack of legal recognition, the fund has not had the solid legal foundation, limiting the scope and quality of operations.
We had no office, no staff, no funding. There were many challenges, and we had to find ways to overcome.
Meanwhile, the Huế Heritage Conservation Fund, authorized by the National Assembly for establishment and pilot operations in 2023, has paved the way for sustainable preservation model. Within its first year, the fund raised nearly $333,000. The first restoration project, the Sương Thọ Tomb, is currently underway in Thừa Thiên Huế province.
The fund has provided swift support, speeding up the investment process. As the consulting, design, and supervision unit, we will carefully implement every detail to ensure that the heritage's original beauty is preserved to the maximum.
Creating a strong legal foundation is a crucial step, and in the near future, we believe the fund will operate effectively, contributing to the mobilization of strong social resources to preserve and promote heritage values.
Moving forward, the Heritage Conservation Fund must be managed with transparency, objectivity, and flexibility to build trust among investors and the community. These measures will enhance the effectiveness of heritage preservation and promotion efforts.
Vietnam's tourism industry is seeing strong growth in international visitors this year. The sector is on track to achieve its target of 17 to 18 million international tourists, thanks to impressive performance across several localities. By November, Ninh Bình province had already exceeded its yearly goal, welcoming more than 1 million international visitors, setting a new record.
This year marks a decade since the Trang An complex was inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List as a mixed cultural and natural site. In this milestone year, Trang An has received the Impactful Destination Award at the Codeler Awards. These international recognitions have solidified Ninh Binh appeal as a tourist destination.
Really beautiful. It kind of reminds me of the movies like Jurassic Park or something like that, you know, so it's very beautiful.
TripAdvisor ranks Ninh Binh tours among the world's best experiences, offering visitors hiking and cycling adventures through picturesque villages. These activities have drawn an increasing number of international tourists, seeking immersive experiences in Time Cock.
The mountains, the river, and all the flowers, and that you can be so close to all these.
Ninh Binh has expanded its market reach through participation in international tourism events. The province has also hosted various cultural and tourism activities throughout the year, strengthening its brand recognition.
We're building a professional tourism sector and workforce to strengthen its destination brand, thereby facilitating its promotion and expansion.
With ongoing efforts from the government and businesses to boost tourism recovery, Ninh Binh aims to generate over $300 million in tourism revenue and contribute approximately 6.5% to the province's GRDP by 2025.
And up next is the weather forecast. And that's all for VTV News. To rewatch our program, you can download VTVgo from App Store or Google Play, or tune in our YouTube channel, VTV4Go. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at 3 p.m. local time.